Welcome to this week's episode of Your Stock Request for the 16th of November. Hi, I'm Michael Gable, Managing Director of Fairmont Equities. Your Stock Request is the weekly video where I take your requests and analyse the share price charts. So this week we have Woodside, Pilra Minerals, Meteoric Resources, CenterGroup and Ostco Healthcare. So if you have a request, please send it through. Make sure you're getting the free newsletter, but our best stock tips come out every Tuesday in the Dynamic Investor Report, so please ensure you are getting that report. But if you do enjoy this video, we'd love you to share it on social media or even leave us a review. Our main business is in portfolio management, so if you'd like to open up a trading account with me, then please give me a call. And all the advice here is general only. So we've got the daily chart here of Woodside going back the past year. We could see that it's there is a bit of a range, and it's now near the bottom of the range, and it's actually come back very sharply into that level. So obviously lends itself to a bit of a bounce. We could see the buy signal on the RSI, so it was deeply oversold, and now we've got the buy signal. And the way this has traded, we could see it tends to move in V shapes. So I think there's a high probability that we get a sort of V-shaped recovery in Woodside back towards the top of the range. So this is where you'd be looking for the buying opportunity. Okay, Pilra. So if we just zoom out to the weekly, put it all in perspective, I mean, you know, we've got this sort of long-term uptrend that it's come back to. So this just looks like a very large sort of flat correction in a larger uptrend. So it's now hit that uptrend line and looks like it's bouncing on that weekly chart. If I just move to the daily chart, we could see there's sort of been a fairly clear line of resistance on the way down. What's interesting is sort of price action was tightening up here in preparation of a move. And what we got was this sort of downside move. So it looked like it was breaking to the downside, but as soon as it hit sort of that support level, it's jumped back up. So decent volume yesterday. Look, it closed on its lows, but right at that break point. So we've also got some bullish divergence on the RSI here. So while that went lower, this was trending higher. So I think if it could stay up around these levels, you'd say that that's a little false break and it's ready to basically start a new trend. So that could be a buying opportunity where you'd be looking for a recovery. Okay, Meteoric Resources. So we can see we've got that sort of upwards move there in the first half of the year, and then it's headed sideways. Obviously there's a line of resistance. This looks like an inverse head and shoulders. So you've got the left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So it continues to test this resistance line. So I think quite clearly you'd be looking for a break above that resistance line. And then that would be the buy signal, because that should lead to a new uptrend. Okay, CenterGroup. If we look at the weekly chart, very clear support since 2021 at about $2.50, bounced off it a few times, and then a few weeks ago it broke under it, but very quickly launched back above it. So again, another sort of failed downside break, which is actually a buy signal. So if we move back to the daily chart, we could see the gap up. So the initial sort of breakaway gap, and then you could call this gap a continuation gap or whatever word you want to call it, but it does look like it's going to head higher. So pretty much a buy zone now for CenterGroup. Bit of resistance here. It's sort of in that sort of zone, so I wouldn't be surprised if it spends a day or two consolidating sideways, and that will just give you the buying opportunity. Okay, and AHC. Look, obviously not much volume. I mean, we could see yesterday 51,000 shares on an 18-cent stock. So I just think this one's, because of the poor volumes, it's too high risk to be trading. But if you were to look at it, you'd say, okay, well, there's a fairly clear sort of range that it trades in. So you'd be looking for a close above here for the next buy signal, or a close under there for your next sell signal. Okay, well that's all for this week. If you have a request, send it through and we'll try to cover it next week for you.